Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and I think you guys are going to love this topic. So a warm welcome to all the new subscribers and for all of you who have been with me since the start. I'm so glad. I've been hearing a lot of comments. You guys have been messaging me saying that you've been enjoying my discourses. I am so happy that you guys do. All right, so let's delve right in. As the topic says, whether you like it or not, your divine masculine is your inspiration, destroyer, and trigger all at the same time. So that's the reason why I really wanted to do this discourse, because this is the inescapable alchemy of the divine masculine. And I want to be very, very clear here. You didn't choose this. Your soul did. And once you start realizing you and your soul are one, everything changes. So on the Monadic Twin Flame path, there always comes a point as the divine feminine, we ask ourselves a very difficult question, a very, very hard question. Why does my divine masculine, why is he the one? Why is my divine masculine the one who breaks me, births me, and defines me even when I don't want him to? And the reality is, the answer is not direct, neither is the answer poetic or it's filled with flowers and gardens. It's the brutal truth wrapped in our soul design. Whether we like it or not, our divine masculine is the inspiration that activates our divine gifts. Like, from my own experience, if not for my divine masculine, I would have never been a twin flame clairvoyant psychic. In fact, I stopped after I graduated from law school. I actually decided I'm not going to practice. I'm not going to do psychic work anymore because it's going to affect my law career. And at that time, it was very interesting because I always knew, first, let me be very clear. I always knew I was a divine feminine since I was a child. And I always knew that. And so when I was doing psychic readings for others, once in a while, there will be clients who ask me to confirm what kind of a twin flame they are, if they're on a twin flame journey via the Akashic records and multidimensionally, and because I'm a clairvoyant, to see where the split occurs. So at that time when I was like, I'm not going to do any more psychic work, I still had existing clients. Clients had been there for a very long time, and they would message me once in a while for a reading, and I would. And some of those clients, would have just met a twin flame, and they would their divine counterpart and would ask me to confirm. And I would. And then when I met my divine masculine, when I meet my clients, they saw a glow. There was something different about me. And for me, it's like, I really, really didn't want to label the connection because I internally knew. And, but it was something that the whole world around me could notice as well. Something about me was different, like another level of activation, perhaps. But the moment I met my divine masculine, it was a feeling of home. And that feeling, we will only get it with our divine masculine. So back to how the inspiration kind of activated me to the path of doing psychic work again was because initially, obviously, I didn't want my divine masculine to know that I was a psychic, right? I just, no. But then one fine day, we had the conversation. somehow it came up and he was like, why have you stopped doing this work? You've been helping so many people. And I'm like, no, 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 I want to be very serious about my legal career. So I don't. But he's like, he even, he even got me to go and watch this psychic show on Netflix. And he was like, do it. And I'm like, am I ready to do it? And I did. And I started again. And that's how from a normal Agashik Records, Starseed psychic, I became a twin flame psychic. and he was the one who kind of inspired me to get it in again. And of course, it always happens, right? After he comes in, makes such a big impact, what happens? We had our separation. And I don't have to say further, the brutal years of separation. So yes, so our divine masculine does activate our divine gifts. He does in so many ways. At the same time, he also becomes the destroyer that shatters our illusions and egoic safety. So this is a big one. And often when we first meet our divine masculine here on earth, it's a journey of remembrance, right? So we still have parts of ourselves that was a byproduct of the conditioning, the way we are brought up. So the operating from the mind, the egoic safety, that's what I'm talking about. But that's when that separation phase creates that environment where our illusions are shattered. And then he also becomes the trigger that exposes everything deep within you. And all of us on a monadic twin flame journey would have experienced this in one way or another. And that's why, from my own experience, I've titled this, Why Our Divine Masculine is Our Inspiration Destroyer and Trigger. But remember, this is not dysfunction. This is actually a high frequency initiation. And at any stage of our journey, there is no judgment. Remember, we should never judge ourselves, or we should never judge others as well. So often, many may think that they're on a twin flame journey, but they are not. Those who are on a twin flame journey will know, but there'll be a lot of doubt as well. And when we're on a monadic twin flame journey, and often the journey is very much guided from within, from our higher selves. So let me go a little bit deeper into the inspiration. Why we actually awaken through our divine masculine. So remember this very, I want to emphasize on this. Remember, you didn't wake up before him by accident. Often, as divine feminines, it's not an accident we wake up first. And waking up first, remembering, doesn't mean that we are better either. That's why I want to differentiate awareness and awakening separately. Because awareness is you're aware you're a divine feminine, but you still have a lot of work to do. Awakening is you're aware, at the same time you're getting rid of parts of yourself that doesn't serve you. So let me go back to why I say you didn't wake up before him by accident. Because our divine masculine is the living key that turned the ignition of our spiritual awakening. You may have been spiritual before, you may have meditated before, but it was not until you meet your divine masculine that our gifts cracked open further. So in my case, from a normal psychic, I became a much more diverse clairvoyant, right? More and more gifts started awakening, started becoming a healer. I started my contributions started to grow exponentially, and we start using our gifts totally in alignment with service to our higher mission plans. Another thing is we go through an intuition overload. Our intuition searches and our purpose begins to shape itself. And this isn't because our divine masculine is our guru or savior, but that's how it would feel like at that point. But it's because our monadic blueprint is interlocked, and our divine masculine tends to be the mirror that reflects our dormant soul codes. That's why, all the cooking, all the gifting, it was literal code exchange. But the moment when our divine masculine looks at you, even briefly, our soul remembers. And we begin to shine because our higher self recognizes the reason why we even incarnated. So even if our divine masculine denies us in the cruelest of ways, even if he blocked you and he knows that it would break you, but there was no other way for you to wake up if he doesn't block you, right? So even if he denied you, even if he blocked you, he plays such a role in your awakening because that's how it is. That's the power of the divine masculine. That's the power of the masculine field in a monadic twin flame template. It holds the magnetic polarity that wakes the dormant starseed fire in our feminine, in our inner feminine. So in a way, our divine masculine, as much as we may not want to say it loud, our divine masculine is our activation switch, not because he deserves the credit, but because our soul blueprint was calibrated to light up his frequency field. And that's why he goes on to play the destroyer as well. Why he breaks what isn't true. You didn't come here for comfort. You came here for liberation. And that's what you got to remember very, very clearly. And that's the reason why your divine masculine carries the frequency of the destroyer archetype. Not because he hates you. Of course, you do feel like he hates you because of his actions, because of the way, the words he uses on you, because of the choices he makes. But it's not because of those things, but because your union is too sacred to be built on illusion. And that's why every time he ignores you, he disappoints you, every time he triggers your abandonment wound, remember, it's not to punish you. It's to collapse the false template you're still unconsciously living in. So he breaks the pedestal you placed him on because he just doesn't like it. And that's why you would have heard your divine masculine say, like, why do you keep saying that I'm so handsome? Or why do you keep saying that I'm so smart? Or why do you keep saying I'm so talented? Why are you being so nice? Why are you being so superficial? Like, what is wrong with you? So when he says those words, he's not being cruel. He's breaking your pedestalization. And also, he's breaking the childhood fantasy you projected on him. And also the spiritual bypassing you tried to hide behind. And also because you're trying to put him as that savior when he's not, that savior illusion that you secretly held because of Disney movies where, the prince comes and you have a happily ever after. But you see, he's doing all of this unconsciously. But the field knows. That's the reason why the destroyer isn't evil. He's the one who says, literally, The destroyer, our divine masculine, is the one who's literally trying to say, hey, love, I won't let you stay asleep in love. I really want you to awaken in love. I won't let you bypass your wounds with my affection or even a little bit of affection. And that's why he goes on to say that he will break your heart, but that's the only way to open your soul. And this is the hardest part, and this is the hardest pill to swallow. He's not breaking your heart, he's breaking your illusions. And that's why it hurts. And that's also why it heals. So you got to take it with stride. It hurts. And that's why the destroyer phase, where the destroyer in him completely destroys every part of you. If you're a people pleaser, he destroys it. If you're a love bomber, he destroys it. If you are so sensitive and you can't grow up, he's going to destroy it. If you are that wounded feminine who is waiting for his validation, he's going to destroy it. If you were the wounded feminine waiting for him to meet you, he's going to never ever meet you, or never ever say nice things to you. In fact, he's going to confuse the hell out of you and make you feel that you're not even a divine feminine. But that's the only way to break the illusion, because the breaking of illusion is the only way your authentic self is born again right here in this moment. And for that, all your illusions surrounding love, life, it has to shatter. Even your understanding of what a divine feminine is has to shatter. And that's why our divine masculines, our beloved divine masculines, put us through a ride during the separation phase. And it's not easy to talk about this, of course. But it is the truth, all right? And then why would I, call him the trigger? Because he is the ultimate trigger of all. And why is it that you can't hide yourself when you're around him? So the reality is, you can fool your friends. You can outgrow your exes. You can spiritually bypass in safe containers. But when he walks into the room, everything collapses. So you may think that, hey, I'm at a better place right now. But there could be one photo he would post on Facebook and he would start spiraling. And then years of you trying to be in a state of Zen, it's going to break. And you will start feeling things that you can't control. And you will see parts of yourself you thought were healed, not healed at all. And that's where you rage, you cry, you fantasize, you disassociate, and you implode. Why? Because our beloved divine masculine is our field mirror, and is calibrated down to the molecular memory of our unprocessed shadow. So that's why you don't just see him, you see you through him. And why does he make you feel so abandoned? Because you're still abandoning yourself. And that's the truth. We often abandon ourselves so much that we don't even know we are abandoning ourselves. And when you ask the question, why does he not choose me? Because a part of you hasn't chosen your own power yet. It's like you want him to love you, but you hate yourself. You look at yourself in the mirror and you just don't like anything about yourself. So how would he love you when you can't love yourself? Another big one. You don't think you're worthy enough. You don't think you're worthy enough for his love. When you keep pedestalizing him, how will you ever be worthy enough for his love? You got to drop him off down to your own level. Only then you will think you're worthy. But it's not even about worthiness here. It's about cracking everything within you And that's why I say, because that part of you hasn't chosen your own power yet. And another question you may ask is, why does he trigger my rage, my sacred anger? Because your rage is sacred and you're finally being forced to feel it. That's why the trigger is not cruelty, it is karmic precision. Our divine masculine always shows us our unfinished business. Are you procrastinating something? Have you not done anything? Or have you been running away from parts of yourself? Or have you been burying things? For example, you're a people pleaser, you've never told anyone off. He wants you to start telling people off. That's just an example. So he shows you things that you have not finished. Not because he's perfect. You see, he's doing everything on an unconscious level. But because, that's why I'm saying, but because he's energetically encoded to do so. That's why he's our mirror initiator. No matter how much we avoid him or try to spiritually escape from him, our soul contract cannot be bypassed. And this is the cosmic paradox. We didn't choose this, but we are choosing it now. This is the grief and the power of the Monadic Twin Flame journey. You didn't choose who he would be. Your soul did. You don't get to change the field. You get to meet with it with consciousness. You may hate that is your inspiration. You may resent that he has broken you. You may scream because he triggers you more than anyone else ever. But yet, he is the one soul on earth who can activate your core mission, who can reflect your deepest truths, can shatter your false light attachments. And he's the only one who can initiate our highest feminine embodiment. And that's why you cannot just seem like a boyfriend. That is so, oh my goodness, human level. Boyfriend. It's your freaking divine masculine and you want to objectify him as a boyfriend. Neither is he a fantasy. He's not going to be, Prince Charming in all of the movies. He is our initiator. And to realize this, even to realize this, we have to go through all of these other stages to even realize this. And that's why do not worship your divine masculine. Neither don't really hate him. And it's okay if you want to hate him sometimes, and just go with the flow. But remember, do not go to either extreme. Don't worship him or hate him. Integrate him. Remember, you do not need to chase him or wait for him, but you do need to accept what he has already done to you. He made you remember. He made you unravel. He made you feel. And in doing so, he made you ready. Not for him, but for you, for your mission, for your embodiment, for your truth. Remember, he was only there because he was only there to make you go through all these phases so that you will awaken to your authenticity and to your embodiment and to your state of being. And that's why after this, you don't have to do anything. He comes back to you, not in a grand way like the movies, but in the most beautiful way, where when he comes back, you would not even feel the years of separation that has gone by. Because remember, you are the phoenix. And that's why, guys, whether you like it or not, whether we like it or not, our divine masculine is our inspiration, destroyer, and trigger all at the same time. And if you have enjoyed today's discourse, do let me know in the comments what you think, and is he making you feel all of these at the same time. And guys, if you want to work one-on-one with me, you can book a session via my website. And because I'm a clairvoyant, I'll be able to give you psychic guidance on your twin flame journey as well by connecting to the Akashic records multidimensionally and beyond as well. And with that, I just want to say our divine masculine may be many things, but in the core, you can never hate him, neither can he ever hate you. So all the BS that he may say that I'm never, ever, ever going to speak to you again, or torture me in the next lifetime, or I don't believe in any of this, that he is that and he is this and he doesn't believe in anything you do, and one moment he does, another moment he doesn't. All of that is BS, because the truth is, if he doesn't do what he has to do as per the choices we have made from our higher selves, we would just be sleeping. We will be sleeping beauty forever, trapped in this matrix eternally. So that's why our divine masculine is literally our husband, not boyfriend. So that version of him that you want him to be a boyfriend is not going to happen. He can only meet you as a divine counterpart. All right. So with that, I'll see you all again with another discourse. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.